period of 4 minutes, the gentleman, the author of this legislation, Mr. Sullivan of Oklahoma.
Gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chairman Whitfield. As we go around our districts, as I go around my district in Oklahoma, many people come up to me and say, "John, what are you politicians in Washington going to do to help this economy? What are you going to do to create jobs here in America?" Well, you know, we politicians don't create jobs. But what we do is we get in the way. And one of the things we can do to keep jobs in place and even foster new jobs is getting the heck out of the way with these burdensome over-regulations that are out there. You know, the EPA has gone rogue, wanting to shut down 20% of our cement plants. And President Obama, when he came to the joint session here recently, said he wanted to build roads and bridges and infrastructure. Well, I guess he wants to do that with imported Chinese cement, not American-made cement. I rise today in strong support of H.R. 2681, the Cement Sector Regulatory Relief Act of 2011. As House Republicans move forward with a bold agenda to grow our economy and put Americans back to work, one area that must be addressed is the issue of overregulation by the federal government. With our economy suffering, and given that 14 million Americans are out of work, Congress must implement federal policies that grow jobs, increase domestic manufacturing, and restore the global economic competitiveness of the United States. Businesses make decisions on where to invest based upon a number of factors, but regulatory certainty ranks among the top factors, which is why H.R. 2681, the Cement Sector Regulatory Relief Act of 2011, is so important. I introduced this bipartisan legislation with my good friend and colleague, Mike Ross of Arkansas, to protect American jobs, jobs that we are in danger of losing due to the Obama administration's radical environmental regulatory agenda. The purpose of this legislation is to provide EPA additional time to repropose and finalize its rules setting maximum achievable control technology and other standards for cement manufacturing plants so that the rules are both achievable and protect American jobs. Specifically, the EPA would be required to repropose the Cement Act rules 15 months after enactment of this legislation. The bill will also extend the dates for compliance with the rules from 3 to 5 years to give our domestic cement manufacturing industry the time to comply with its rules. If EPA's Cement Act rule is not revised, thousands of jobs will be lost due to cement plant closures and high construction cost. This rule alone threatens to shut down up to 20% of the nation's cement manufacturing plants in the next 2 years, sending thousands of jobs permanently overseas and driving up cement and construction costs across the country. Additionally, the Portland Cement Association estimates it will cost $3.4 billion, half of the industry's annual revenues, to comply with EPA's current Cement Act rule. Does that make any sense? The EPA's cement rule also greatly impacts our nation's construction industry, where unemployment rates have hovered between 16% and 20% nationally. Without my legislation, construction job losses would be further exacerbated with reduced supplies of cement being produced in the United States. The simple fact is cement is the backbone for the construction of our nation's buildings, roads, bridges, and crucial water and wastewater treatment infrastructure. Without further investment in cement capacity expansion, the United States will become increasingly dependent on foreign imports. Additionally,
Mr. Chairman, I would like to yield the gentleman an additional minute.
The gentleman is recognized for an additional 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Additionally, lost supplies of cement resulting from closure of cement plants would also drive up costs of infrastructure projects and potentially limit the number of projects that may be undertaken. Now, some of the opponents of this common sense bipartisan legislation, including President Obama, say this legislation weakens the Clean Air Act. Nothing could be further from the truth. H.R. 2681 does not change or modify any existing public health protections. It simply directs the EPA to establish regulations achievable in practice by real-world cement plants at a time of great economic uncertainty. This is something worth doing for the health of our economy. I do not know if the President is watching, but right now jobs are being created and our economy is not being created, and our economy is not growing. The cement sector is struggling in the current economic climate in the face of foreign competition from abroad. President Obama likes to talk about the need to invest in our nation's infrastructure, and this legislation will remove one of the several barriers to growth in the construction and manufacturing industries. I am amazed he is opposed to this bipartisan measure, and I encourage my colleagues to support this.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentleman from California.